Hello friends, welcome to the Point. In this session, we are discussing about climate. What is this climate? Climate, it is a long-term average of weather, which is typically averaged over a period of 30 years and so on. Some of the meteorological variables that are commonly measured are temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure, wind and precipitation. Factors determining the climate of India. India's climate, it is controlled by a number of factors which can be broadly divided into two groups. The factors that is related to the location and relief and the factors that is related to air pressure and winds. Let's discuss about the factors that is related to location and relief. Latitude, the Himalayan mountains, distribution of land and water, distance from the sea, altitude and relief. These are all related to the location and relief that are the factors that determines the climate of India. Latitude. We know that the Tropic of Cancer passes through the central part of India in east-west direction. Thus, the northern part of India, it lies in subtropical and temperate zone, and a part lying south of the Tropic of Cancer falls in tropical zone. The tropical zone, which is being near to the equator, it experiences high temperature throughout the year and with a small daily and annual range. Area north of Tropic of Cancer, being away from the equator, it experiences extreme climate with high daily and annual range of temperatures. The Himalayan mountains. The lofty Himalayas in the north, along with its extension, it acts as an effective climatic divide. The towering mountain chain, it provides an invincible shield to protect the subcontinent from the cold northern winds, and this cold and chilly winds, they originate near the Arctic Circle and they blow across the central and the eastern Asia. The Himalayas, they also trap the monsoon winds which force them to shed their moisture within the subcontinent. Distribution of land and water. India is flanked by the Indian Ocean on three sides in the south and it is grilled by high and continuous mountain wall in the north. When compared to the land mass, water heats up or cools down slowly. This differential heating of land and sea, it creates different air pressure zones in different seasons in and around the Indian subcontinent. Difference in the air pressure, it causes reversal in the direction of monsoon winds. Distance from the sea. With a long coastline, large coastal areas, they have an equable climate. Areas in the interior of India are far away from the moderating influence of the sea. Such areas, they have extreme climates. That is why the people of Mumbai and the Konkan coast, they have hardly any idea of extreme of temperatures and the seasonal rhythm of weather. Altitude. Temperature decrease with height. Due to thin air, places in the mountains are cooler than the places on the plains. For example, Agra and Darjeeling, they are located on the same latitude, but temperature of January in Agra is 16 degrees Celsius and whereas it is 4 degrees Celsius in Darjeeling. Relief. Relief is also called as physiography. The physiography of India, it affects the temperature, air pressure, direction and speed of wind and the amount and the distribution of the rainfall. The windward sides of the Western Ghats and the Assam, they receive high rainfall during June to September. Whereas the southern plateau, they remain dry due to its leeward situation along the Western Ghats. Factors related to air pressure and winds. To understand the difference in local climates of India, initially we need to understand the mechanism of the following three factors, that is the distribution of air pressure and the winds on the surface of the earth. Upper air circulation caused by factors controlling global weather and the inflow of different air masses and jet streams. The inflow of western cyclones, it is generally known as disturbances during the winter season and the tropical depressions during the southwest monsoon period into India. which creates weather conditions favorable to rainfall. The mechanism of these three factors, it can be understood with the reference to winter and summer seasons of every year separately. Mechanism of weather in winter season. Surface pressure and the winds. In winter months, the weather conditions over India, they are generally influenced by distribution of pressure in Central and Western Asia. A high pressure center in the region lying to the north of the Himalayas, it develops during winter, and this center of high pressure, it gives rise to the flow of air at the low level from the north towards the Indian subcontinent south of the mountain range. Jet stream and upper air circulation. The pattern of the air circulation, it is witnessed only at the lower level of the atmosphere near the surface of the earth. Higher up in the lower troposphere, about 3 kilometers above the surface of the earth, a different pattern of air circulation is observed. The variation in the atmospheric pressure closer to the surface of the earth, it does not have any role in making up of the upper air circulation. Western cyclonic disturbances and tropical cyclones. The western cyclonic disturbances, which enter the Indian subcontinent from the west and the northeast during the winter months, they originate over Mediterranean Sea and they are brought to India by westerly jet stream. An increase in the prevailing night temperature, it generally indicates an advance in the arrival of this cyclone disturbances. Tropical cyclones, they originate over Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. These tropical cyclones, they have very high wind velocity and heavy rainfall, and they hit the parts of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Orissa coast. Most of these cyclones are very destructive due to its high wind velocity and torrential rain that accompanies. Mechanism of weather in summer season. Surface pressure and winds. As the summer sets in and the sun shifts northwards, the wind circulation over the subcontinent, it undergoes a complete reversal at both the lower as well as the upper levels. By the middle of July, the low pressure belt near the surface, which is described as ITCZ, that is Intertropical Convergence Zone, it shifts northwards roughly parallel to Himalayas between 20° north and 25° north. By this time, the westerly jet stream, it withdraws from the Indian region. Jet stream and upper air circulation. The pattern of pressure and winds, as mentioned above, it is formed only at the level of troposphere. An easterly jet stream, it flows over the southern parts of peninsula in June and it has maximum speed of 90 km per hour. Easterly jet stream and tropical cyclones. The easterly jet streams, it steers the tropical depression into India. These depressions, they play a very major role in the distribution of monsoon rainfall over the Indian subcontinent. The tracks of these depressions are the areas of highest rainfall in India. The frequency at which these depressions visit India, the direction and intensity, it goes a long way in determining the rainfall pattern during the southwest monsoon periods. The nature of Indian monsoon. Monsoon is traditionally defined as a seasonal reversing wind which is accompanied by the corresponding changes in precipitation. But now it is used to describe seasonal changes in atmospheric circulation and precipitation, which is associated with the asymmetric heating of land and sea. The salient features of monsoon are the onset of the monsoon, rain-bearing systems, and break in the monsoon. The onset of the monsoon towards the end of the 19th century, it was believed that differential heating of land and sea during summer months is a mechanism that sets the stage for monsoon winds to drift towards the subcontinent. And during April and May, when the sun shines vertically over the Tropic of Cancer, The large landmass in the north of Indian Ocean, they get intensely heated, and this causes the formation of an intense low pressure in the northwestern part of the subcontinent. And since the pressure of the Indian Ocean in the south of the landmass is high, as water gets heated slowly, the low pressure cells, they attract the southeast trades across the equator. Rain bearing systems and rainfall distribution. Example, tropical cyclones and the relationship between their frequency and distribution of monsoon rainfall. There seem to be two rain bearing systems in India. First, they originate in Bay of Bengal, which causes rainfall over the plains of North India. And secondly, the Arabian Sea current of the southwest monsoon, which brings rain to west coast of India. Break in the monsoon. During the southwest monsoon period, after having rains for a few days, if rain fails to occur for 1 or more weeks, it is known as break in the monsoon. These dry spells, they are quite common during the rainy season. And these breaks in different regions are due to different reasons. The first reason is the northern India rains are likely to fail if the rain bearing storms, they are not very frequent along the monsoon trough or the ITCZ over this region. And secondly, over the west coast of the dry spells, they are associated with days when wind blows parallel to the coast. See you in the next session. Thank you.